Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to look at 4 things spotted in Arsenal training. Arsenal will be hoping to make it 4 straight Premier League wins on Wednesday nights when they make their short trip to Selhurst Park to take on Crystal Palace. Arsenal have been working hard at London Colney ahead of Wednesday night's clash with Crystal Palace. The Gunners likely only have position to play for in their last 2 games, but on Wednesday they know they'll face the added challenge of heading to Selhurst Park, where Palace will desperately want to give Roy Hodgson a good send-off after the veteran boss announced he is leaving his role at the end of the season. It's the job of Mikel Arteta's men to ruin Hodgson's leaving party, and they will attempt to do so after another positive session at London Colney following 3 straight Premier League wins. So the first thing on the list is Thomas Partey becomes Joker. So you can clearly see in this picture that Thomas Partey is someone that has now pretty much got to the use of Arsenal. He's nearly spent 1 season with the Gunners. He knows how the players are, and I think he's starting to become more of himself, more of his personality, more of his characteristic. And he's someone that is having a very good time now in an Arsenal shirt, with the pressure being off him, given the fact that Arsenal may have the slightest of chances to play in European football. But for me, rather not play in the European Conference League, I'd rather play with no European football. But you can clearly see in this picture that Thomas Partey is someone that is having a good time with Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, and he's someone that has had a lot of talk regarding who will be his perfect partner, because we've got the likes of Granit Xhaka, someone that looks like he might be leaving, someone that has requested to leave the Gunners. There is talk that he will be staying now, and there's now talks of a lot of players who want to be Thomas Partey's perfect midfield partner, like the likes of Ivan Bissouma, like the likes of Sander Berge, and a lot of players like Eduardo Camavinga, who have also been linked with the move to be Thomas Partey's perfect midfield partner. But in terms of Thomas Partey, he is someone that needs to impress next season. He has now had 1 season to adapt to the Premier League. There are signs of where he shows his abilities, but there are also signs of inconsistency as well. So this nicely takes us on to the second thing spotted in Arsenal training, and that is Alexandre Lacazette having jokes as well. But in this scenario, he is someone that is really focused on his hat, someone that is having a little bit of stress in this picture. As you can clearly see, he's taking his hat, he's pulling it with both his hands, but is he trying to do something with the hats? We don't know what's going right in the Arsenal training, because you can only tell from the photos, but you can clearly see that there's something going on with his head or something going on with his hats, and he's someone that is pulling his hat for some form of a joke in this scenario. But you can clearly see that he's changed the way he put on this hat. As you can clearly see, I think he's trying to copy Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, because the way he has much longer hair and it more or less spikes up. You can clearly see that his hat spikes up as well, so you can clearly see he's trying to copy Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But in terms of Alexandre Lacazette, he is someone that is always giving positive vibes in the Arsenal training, someone that it looks like he might be signing a new contract with the Gunners, given the latest form has been really good from Alexandre Lacazette. But will he remain with the Gunners? Will he be sold? It looks like £30 million is something that Arsenal might be asking for to sell Alexandre Lacazette. A host of big clubs want Alexandre Lacazette, so you have to wait and see what happens with Alexandre Lacazette's situation with the Gunners. So the next thing on the list is Kieran Tierney gathers ball in training, and you can clearly see that Kieran Tierney is someone that is a warrior, because you can clearly see in this picture, this guy, the ball goes pretty much probably out of the fence and he's going to run and get it. You can clearly see he's a warrior. One thing that you can clearly see from Kieran Tierney is a warrior is the fact that that goal he scored against Benfica, even though it's a shame that we didn't go to the Europa League final, we didn't get that trophy and get into Champions League football. We're now in the prospect of no European football, but that game where he scored that all-important goal to allow for Arsenal to pretty much come back, because Arsenal players were looking very sad, were looking very depressed. They thought they can't come back, but then you see Kieran Tierney, someone that's missed a big chunks of the Arsenal season, someone that needs a cover, as a lot of players have been linked, like the likes of Ryan Bertrand and other players that could be the cover to Kieran Tierney. But you can clearly see that this guy offers a lot to the squad. There are talk of pundits wanting him to leave the Gunners and go for a better team. but it's a lot of things regarding Kieran Tierney that you have to watch out for. But the thing with Kieran Tierney is that he's a top player, and we should be grateful of getting him on a very cheap deal for £25 million from Celtic, and he is someone that will offer us a lot, but hopefully he doesn't get as much injuries as he has been getting in an Arsenal shirt of late. So the final thing on the list is Folarin Balogun impresses in training. And with his 2 games, like the game versus Crystal Palace, pretty much having not that much importance, given the fact that Arsenal only have the slightest chance of making European football. They have the opportunity to go 7th position, with West Ham only 4 points ahead of us. But for me, really and truly, I don't want to be in the European Conference League. That would just make us a laughing stock as a club, and you see the other clubs at least being in the Europa League. And the funny part is, if you win the European Conference League, you get into the Europa League, and that's not where we want to be as a football club. But for me, right now, at this moment in time, for me, we either get Europa League or we either have no European football, no Conference League. But someone like Folarin Balogun is someone that deserves a chance under Mikel Arteta, given the fact that he signed a new deal. If Arsenal are going to back him, they trust in him as their striker for the future, they will start to give him the experiences right now. And you can clearly see that he's someone that's been working hard. You can even see that he's got a bandage on his ear. This might be because he might have had something with his earring or something, or he might be training proper hard. But you can clearly see that Folarin Balogun is someone that the Arsenal board, the Arsenal manager, the Arsenal fan base trust in as a player. So we have to wait and see what he can offer, but these are games he will be given the opportunity because there's no pressure on the guy. He's able to show his abilities and characteristics. So these are 4 things spotted in Arsenal training, and Mikel Arteta knows that if we get these 2 wins, there's the slightest chance of getting into European football. And it all depends on the other teams, as it all depends on them, and it's not in our hands, as he mentioned in the latest press conference. But for Mikel Arteta, he's someone that has mentioned he's going to be ruthless, but the signs he's given today is that a lot of players who are under contract will be remaining at the club. Is that some form of bluff to make sure that the price they go at is high? There's a lot of things that's going to happen at this club, and then one thing for certain is that it's going to be changed. But other than that, guys, remain blessed. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.